to be introducing my role model, Dr. Sanduk Ruit, to all of you.
As an eye doctor, this is what I wanted to be from the All India Institute of Medical Science, and came back to Nepal. The way the surgery was done was by removing the lens. आमाले आँखा नदेखेको भएदेखि त्यो बच्चाले यो जिन्दगी देख्न पाउँथ्यो कि पाउँथेन भन्ने कुरा पनि सँगै छ।
It is my honor to be introducing my role model, Dr. Sanduk Ruit, to all of you. Dr. Sanduk Ruit जस्तो महान व्यक्ति नेपालमा जन्मिनु भएको हामी सबै नेपालीका लागि गर्व र भाग्यको कुरा हो। विशेष गरेर उहाँ हामी जस्तो युवाहरूको लागि प्रेरणाको स्रोत हुनुभएको छ। उहाँले हिजो जुन अन्धकारमा बसिरहेका विश्वभरिका कैयौं मान्छेहरूको आँखा आज संसार हेर्ने उज्यालो बनाइदिनु भएको छ। उहाँको यो महत्त्वपूर्ण कार्यको कारणले उहाँलाई भगवानको रूपमा पनि देखिनेछ आजकल। आज यहाँ आउनुभएका हामी साह्रै खुसी भएका छौं। So there are 40 million people worldwide that are blind, and half of them are due to cataracts. Today we have with us the champion of the war against the blind. If you think about it, losing your eyesight would mean never being able to see your family again, never seeing the colors of the sky, and never being able to see the beauty of nature. In less than 5 minutes, he lets people do that. He lets people just see things the way we see things, and most of us take that for granted. But with him, in 5 minutes, he's able to do that and give people and restore their happiness. Dr. Sanduk Ruit is not only a miracle worker who has saved over 100,000 eyes internationally and won many several awards, he's also a humanitarian and inspiration to not only me but everyone around me. Known as the barefoot surgeon today, he came from very humble beginnings. Born and raised in a remote village in eastern Nepal, he grew up with no electricity, no health facility, no modern means of communication, and a school that was 11 days walk away from him. But he persevered and he went through all the struggle to become the great doctor he is today and build our society for the better. Dr. Ruit's sole mission has been and continues to be bringing eyesight back to anyone who needs it, regardless of their ability to pay. With this goal in mind, he co-founded the Himalayan Cataract Project and he founded the Tilganga Institute of Ophthalmology. These are both organizations that help the needy when they need the most help, and they're always just aimed towards using the powerful to help the powerless. Dr. Ruit himself turns a blind eye when it comes to discrimination. He has helped the most powerful to the most powerless, regardless of their economic background, their social status, race, gender, or nationality. He is so committed to his purpose that he has trekked for days, for hours, without taking any break to go to these remote areas in our country and elsewhere in the world to help people. And he sets up eye camps using classrooms, tents, animal stables, anything he can find. He makes that his operating room and does his operations there. And again, it's in less than 5 minutes. His professionalism is also matched by his generosity. He's now spending his days performing those dozens of back-to-back surgeries, as well as teaching other doctors, young doctors like myself, to do those surgeries, and he's spreading his knowledge throughout the entire world. He's so committed that he's humbly still making time to be here for events like this, and he's trying his best to inspire the next generation. His passionate dedication towards humanity is contagious, and I think we're very fortunate to be able to learn from him today. There are not enough words to compliment his humility, his empathy, his acceptance. I just think that this is such a great experience for all of us to learn from, not just me, but everyone here. And he intends to motivate us not just professionally, but also on a personal level. So please allow yourself to be fully immersed in this experience and take the best from it.
I'd like to thank each of you from the front row here to the back for coming for this meeting, and I will take this as an inspiration, encouragement for the work that we're doing back in Nepal and from Nepal to many parts of the world. I, like some of you, come from a place, and the place that you're born is very important in your life. But fortunately, unfortunately, I was born in a place way up in the mountains at the northeastern corner of Nepal. A place called Wolangchungola, at the top of Mount Tamor. This is the only village at the top of Mount Tamor. And for us to travel to a little bit of civilization, we have to walk for 4 to 5 days downstream, very difficult. And the only central focus of this place was the monastery. You were born, you died, you were ill, you wanted to celebrate, everything was the monastery. So monastery was virtually the focus of the village. This is what Nepalese parents are good at. They work so hard, they saturate their capacity to make sure that your children get the best. And I was blessed, even in spite of that, difficult place. I was blessed to have a parent who sent me to a school. And my school, from my village, my dad and I to walk for a good 15 days to Darjeeling. So once he put me in the school, I didn't come back for another 3 years. In everybody's life, especially in the life of a country boy like myself, there is some happening that pushes you out of the box to take an occupation that is not traditional, that is not conventional to your culture or family. And this is what I became. Studying medicine was unthinkable in my family and in my village, and especially studying modern medicine. And my sister, who was between 14 and 15, we were studying in Kathmandu, and we were staying in one room. And I went to school, she went to school. I went to Manastali, she went to Mahendravan school. And in the process, we were very close, not only as brothers and sisters, but also as friends. We used to go and see movies. And she was a beautiful singer. I used to listen to her singing. And but suddenly she developed tuberculosis. And we took her to the doctor. All the tests were done. This was way back in the mid-60s. You can understand the quality of medical treatment those days. And the tuberculosis initially responded very well with the medicine for about 6 months. After 6 months, her health started to fail. She started getting more cough. She started to get thinning more, and we went to see the doctor again. And the doctor told us that she has become resistant to the first line of drugs. And it was extremely difficult to get the second line of medicine there. It was very expensive, and probably we couldn't afford it to have it. So the doctor told us that it's best that you either take her home and let her be the best she can eat the way she wants to, or take her to a sanatorium. In those days, TB patients used to be put on a sanatorium. So we took her home in our temporary home in Dankota Hile, where my dad and mom had migrated from my village because of a flood that came. And we're running a small store, cloth store in Hile. We had a little discussion before I came back from my studies. And she asked me, she said, brother, you have a potential to do something in life, and I want to see that you can become somebody, and I'm definite that you will become somebody who can bring changes in people's life. So those were the words that I heard from her. And after a week, I heard that she passed away. So those were the words. And I started thinking, back, what should I do now, So I thought, I got a strong feeling in my inner soul that this is the branch that I would like to take in order to be somebody who can help many people like my sister in my country in Nepal. So that was one of the strongest inspiration that I got to study medicine. And I worked hard and qualified for a scholarship to go to India to study medicine. And studying medicine for somebody like me, studying with the primes of Indian University was not a joke. They were all the best of in India. Indians are very good, extremely talented, very hardworking. So I had to fight with them. But nevertheless, I was very lucky And the breakthrough came in the second year when generally we have a dissection competition. And there's a dissection competition every year. And this is a competition where you dissect the cadaver and demonstrate it to the group of examiners who will come and examine you. And I suppose I had that feel in my hand right from the beginning. And I was just as the SS Khan dissection annual champion of the college. And they really put me on the forefront in my medical college. For somebody who's from that background, or somebody from Nepal, to stand out and do this was something. So from then on, the medical school, I started adding on my career certifications and started doing quite all right. And after I came back, I was extremely fortunate to be involved in two things. One was to get involved in, along with the surveyors of the country, to look into the borders of Nepal and China. And I spent about 6 months going into the borders. And that 6 months really gave me a front face of what my country looked like. The real country, the villages, and the rivers, the mountains, and the flatlands, how it looked like. So I had a fantastic realization of the context of my country. And this is, as a young doctor, going back to my own village and serving the people here when I was very young, like quite a lot of you here. Then I went to qualify myself as an eye doctor. This is what I wanted to be from the All India Institute of Medical Science, and came back to Nepal and started working. And I believe I always used to, ask questions to my senior. And seniors used to run away from me because I used to ask too many questions to them. Yeah. And but it's very important in life that you have genuine friends and genuine collaborators. Your parents are genuine, your teachers are genuine. But you've got to make sure that you find genuine friends. And I've been very lucky to have genuine friends. One friend that I came across was a professor from Australia called Fred Hollows. And I met him in 1985 when I came back as a young ophthalmologist. And I don't know why he was impressed with me, but we got along very well. And he believed a lot in equity. And he believed a lot in delivering quality to everybody. And so as I did believe too. So we had a wonderful friendship, and we started to conceptualize about our dreams. We had great dreams, but he was working, when I met him, he wasn't very famous. He was working as an associate professor at the University of New South Wales back in Sydney. And we started talking about how we can deliver very high quality cataract surgery to the lowest community of the world, to the most difficult places in the world. How could we do that? So Fred Hollows was one of my first real good friend, and we were like soulmates. We shared the same vision. And this is Dr. Jeff Kevin. I met him down the road, and Jeff and I now become part of the Himalayan Cataract Project. And Jeff is a professor at the University of Stanford. And he and I also, we are strong collaborators of the program. And we're doing a lot of work in many parts of Asia and Africa. But again, it's very important that you are lucky, you are good in finding good collaborators. Now, action phase. How the work started. The beginning of the work was a small team in Telangana, way back in early 90s or late 80s. And we had nothing except wild and passionate dreams. And I'd like to share with you, friends, it's very important that you dream. Dream is so important. You have to see, dream, continuously start having dream. And at that time, when we had a group of our board members sit down and have a sit up, and I requested them to sit on the board, and one of the members on the board asked me, what do we have? So the total resource that we had was $200. So few members on the board didn't really appreciate it, but they appreciated the lots of ideas that we started to throw out, the dreams and the ideas. So that's how we started. And of course, you come across multiple challenges, and you face them as they come along. And initially, our mission was, now just to let you know that cataract is the most common surgical procedure conducted in the human body worldwide. And about 30 million surgeries are done every year. And in Nepal alone, we do about 200,000 surgeries a year. So this is one of the most common types of surgeries. And our initiative was to conduct sufficient, good enough numbers in terms of numbers, and successful, very good quality. Quality was very important that we address, and sustainable. It became sustainable so that it became a very good, sustaining program for many, many years. It didn't have to depend on anybody, sustained program, both programmatically and financially. And we found there are a couple of barriers. One of the barriers was the cost of these intraocular lenses, which used to cost about $150 to $200. And it was impossible for us to use these for every patient in Nepal, because the cost would really jump up. And adaptation of a good quality surgical technique in the local, which could be performed in a developing country, because we get more complex cataract, numbers more, and the conditions are suboptimal. And of course, to find a surgical technique which is suitable for that, and cost and complexity of the equipments which are needed for that. So this is a whole barrier that kept quality cataract surgery be implemented in a country like ours. And at that time, this type of surgery wasn't available for lots of developing countries, including India. So we started doing a lot of pilot studies with simple microscopes, simple techniques in difficult places in Nepal. My wife is here, and our son, who's now 30-year-old, he was 1 year old. My wife, my son, and I traveled in an old jeep right across Nepal from Mechi to Mahakali, teaching, convincing doctors, technicians, and management people that this is the best way to conduct surgery and give the patients the best they can get. And the way the surgery was done was by removing the lens. And after you remove the lens, in the old technique, the patients wouldn't see. They have to wear these thick cork bottle glasses like the lady is wearing. And when I was working in Bir Hospital as a young general doctor, one day I found a patient, an old lady who had fallen from a height in Kalimchok near Raswa, and she had a fractured neck of femur. Then I asked her what happened. She said she had undergone a cataract surgery about 6 months ago, and she was wearing a glass which she never liked. And she put the glass, and when she put the glass, she started walking. She fell down from the height. These glasses almost magnifies the image by about 300%. and it's very difficult to walk. And I mean, walk alone in such difficult terrain. Look at these. These are the terrains that we have in Nepal. These are the outbacks in Mustang. So, for almost 5 years, I started, when you want to do some innovation and project, you have to learn to sleep, eat, and drink with it. And I have done that with this technique and the system. You have to eat. When you're eating, you have to think about it. When you sleep, you have to dream about it. When you walk, you have to think about it. And you can get into the depth of your problem. So in 5 years, we simplified, adapted, and tested, which wasn't enough. There were lots of criticism. So I had to do some international research and publish it in international journals to convince my own colleague and colleagues who were in Nepal and outside Nepal that this is a safe, low cost, but not a bad technique, not very expensive, not complicated, but extremely valuable to the patient. And we created surgical standard operating manuals, and these surgical techniques were taught right across Asia and Africa. And I tell you, that must have benefited millions of people to have this technique in their hand by the surgeons. And in Nepal, we decided the only way we could bring the cost of the intraocular lenses down is by manufacturing these lenses locally. आमाले आँखा नदेखेको भएदेखि त्यो बच्चाले यो जिन्दगी देख्न पाउँथ्यो कि पाउँथेन भन्ने कुरा पनि सँगै छ. The family rhythm blindness le कति effect गर्छ. And you can see now the child is going to school, and again I like to say how privileged I am. I am much more privileged than all of you here to be part of that wonderful moment when she looks at the face of a child whom she has given birth when she was blind. She has nurtured the child in a womb for 9 months. 9 महिनापछि एकैचोटि बच्चालाई देख्दाखेरि कस्तो थियो होला है. त्यस कारण म तपाईलाई शेयर गर्न खोजेको है. So the next thing that we did after all this was very aggressive training program, surgical systems training program in Nepal, in Asia, in Africa, and we had a lot of people coming from all around the world. Nepal has really become part of center focus for treatment of cataract surgery training. That was in Indonesia. This is with a group of doctors in Myanmar, and we have very strong presence in both Indonesia and Myanmar.
He reached out to so many other countries. That shows that what the passion he has. And he said it, that Nepal is a forefront in this technology, and India learned from your technology. So such a proud moment for all of us. And he is giving back to the community. It's not easy to come and go all over the world and give the inspiration speech. So he can motivate, he can create more Dr. Sanduk from the community. I think that is your motive. And Chchiring Lama, can you please join with me for your leadership and doing such an amazing event? So on behalf of the Brooklyn Borough President, I would like to recognize Dr. Sanduk Ruit. Today we are declaring the Dr. Sanduk Ruit Celebration Day in Brooklyn, USA for his outstanding work for the betterment of the community. So congratulations.
There's a lot तपाईले धेरै गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ नन रेजिडेन्ट नेपालीहरुले र नेपालको कन्डिसन हेरेर नेपाल अहिले साँच्चीकै ट्रान्जिसन फेजमा जाँदैछ. We are learning to be a democratic country, and there is still continues to be bad political culture. and continues to be a little bit of instability, although 5 वर्ष अगाडिभन्दा अहिले धेरै राम्रो छ अघि तर तपाईहरुले यहाँ बसेर पोलिटिशियनहरुलाई प्रेसर दिन सक्नुहुन्छ देशलाई कसरी अगाडि लिएर जाने यति राम्रो देश हामीलाई माथिबाट सबै कुरो दिएछ है र अलिकति राम्रो लिडरशिप दिदियो भने राम्रो हुन्थ्यो र अर्को कुरो नेपालमा म जहिले पनि के भन्छु भने पोलिटिकल फिल्डमा धेरै अपर्च्युनिटी छ हामीलाई राम्रो खालको पढे लेखेको मान्छेहरू राम्रो देशको लागि सोच्ने मान्छेहरू हामीलाई चाहिरहेको छ र नन रेजिडेन्ट नेपालीले एउटा काम यहाँबाट प्रेसर दिन सक्नुहुन्छ तपाईले प्रेसर दिँदा तपाईलाई कसैले पनि केही पनि भन्दैन हेर्नुहोस् है र अर्को कुरा चाहिँ आफ्नो आफ्नो एक्सपर्टिजको हिसाबले तपाईले नेपालमा एउटा आएर काम गर्ने पनि होइन आएर बाटो देखाउन सक्नुहुन्छ र कुनै राम्रो अर्गनाइजेसन छ भने जस्तो हामीलाई मलाई गरिरहनु भएको छ अरू मान्छेलाई पनि तपाईले गराउनुहोस् यसरी र त्यसलाई लाइमलाइट दिनुहोस् जस्तो लाग्छ तर पोलिटिक्स नभइकन कन्ट्री चल्दैन पोलिटिशियनले जतिको राम्रोसँग देशलाई मुभ गर्न सक्छ अरूले गर्न सक्दैन र वी नीड टु ह्याभ गुड कल्चर्ड पोलिटिशियन्स त्यो गर्नलाई हामीलाई देशलाई सहायता गर्नुहोस्
I feel like us as students, we go through these phases where we feel like we're just not good enough. And I think everyone can relate to that. I mean, it's the pressure on us, especially being medical students. We always feel like, we can never get to the top, right? So what motivated you to keep going? Because I feel like that's something I personally struggle with every day. Feeling like, when am I going to get there? Where is the end goal?
I think there is no, strong formula for this, but I really believe in what I said, a few minutes ago. हामी जुन ठाउँमा जहाँ छौँ हामीसँग हाम्रो कामलाई मन पराउनु बाहेक हामीसँग उपाय के पनि छैन त्यसकारण कामलाई तपाईले आफ्नो कामलाई तपाईले मन पराउनु भयो भने जति धेरै मन पराउनुहुन्छ उति you will get more involved, you will become more successful. That's really, and somebody calls it you become passionate, compassionate. I think that's what it is. एउटा त्यो अर्को कुरा चाहिँ मलाई के लाग्छ भने तपाईले लाइफमा जहिले पनि टर्बुलेन्स हुन्छ र तपाईको टर्बुलेन्सको पिरियडमा your parents, I'm being a bit old fashioned now, your parents, right, and your good teachers and your good friends, very important, right? That good word is very important, right? And are your friends, but you should continue to dream. Do never forget to dream, always dream, and between dream, completion and you, there's a lot of hard work, strong focus, and very importantly, try to develop willpower. Willpower is just 2 words, but it's such an important thing. 5 बजे उठ्नुपर्छ भने ठ्याक्क 5 बजे उठ्ने मलाई आज त्यहाँ जानुपर्छ भने त्यहाँ जाने. These are simple things in willpower, but I think willpower is really sometimes makes a difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person. So these are some of the things that I've learned in my life and like to share with you and all, especially the young people here. नेपालीको राम्रो कुरा चाहिँ 2 things है मलाई लाग्छ है त्यो र त्यो कुरा एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ. एउटा we are straightforward, God-fearing people, and keep that. It's very important. Whether there is God or no God, but that God-fearing attitude is very important. At least you have to be accountable to somebody. Okay? And अर्को कुरा मलाई राम्रो लागेको चाहिँ हाम्रो family culture असाध्यै राम्रो छ. टुरिस्टहरू इन्डिया जान्छ, बङ्गलादेश जान्छ अनि हामी कहाँ आउँछ, वाह नेपाल अझै पनि अहिले पनि तपाईले भन्नु होला धुलो छ, मेरो बुढीले भन्छ मलाई धुलो छ यो छ भन्छ है, तर अझै पनि Nepal is still beautiful and nice. Please keep those entities, God-fearing and family culture. It's so important. It always gives you, never takes from you.